They say life is full of surprises, but nothing could have prepared me, or anyone else in the village of Egbima, for the story of Emeka, the plantain seller who became the richest man in the village. It was a tale that made people laugh, cry, and scratch their heads in disbelief. I'll tell you everything because I saw it all unfold. Let me start from the beginning. I was still a boy when the rumor spread that a baby had been abandoned at the edge of the village. It was a quiet, cold night when a woman fetching water from the stream heard the soft cries of a baby. She followed the sound and found a newborn wrapped in rags and left near a bush. The woman took the baby to the village square where the elders gathered to discuss what to do. You see, in Egbima, abandoning a child was a rare and shameful thing. People whispered about who the parents could be, but no one came forward to claim the baby. The elders, with their grey hairs and wise faces, debated all night, but eventually, they decided that the boy would be raised by whoever had the heart to care for him. That was how Emeka started his life, alone, unwanted, but not unloved. Mama Ijeoma, a widow with 5 children of her own, took him in. Though she had little, her heart was big, and she cared for Emeka like he was her own blood. But there was always a cloud over Emeka's head. Everyone in the village knew the story of his abandonment, and some children would mock him. No wonder your parents threw you away, they'd tease. But Emeka never let it bother him. He had something in him, something strong, something different. We didn't know it then, but that boy would go on to shake the entire village. As he grew older, Emeka became a hardworking boy. By the time he was 10, he was already helping Mama Ijeoma sell plantains at the market. He carried the heavy baskets on his head, following her through the dusty roads of Egbima, calling out to customers with a smile that never faded. Plantain. Fresh plantain, he'd shout, his voice ringing through the market. People liked him because he was respectful, cheerful, and honest. He sold more plantains than anyone else. Even the older women selling by the roadside would call him the NWA plantain, which means plantain boy. By the time Emeka was a teenager, Mama Ijeoma had grown too old to sell at the market, and the responsibility fell on his shoulders entirely. But Emeka didn't complain. In fact, he saw it as an opportunity. He started expanding the business. He would wake up early and travel to neighboring villages to buy plantains at a lower price and sell them at a higher one back in Egbima. Soon, people started calling him Emeka the Plantain King. What impressed everyone was his humility. He didn't boast or flaunt his growing wealth. He continued living in the small mud house with Mama Ijeoma, eating the same gari and soup like everyone else. But slowly, very slowly, things started to change. One day, Emeka had an idea that would change his life forever. Instead of just selling raw plantains, he began roasting them, making what we call grilled plantains. He set up a small stall at the market and added spicy pepper sauce to his plantains. People loved it. Soon, there was always a line of customers waiting for Emeka's bowl. With the money he made, Emeka started buying land. He planted plantain trees and began supplying plantains to wholesalers across the region. Before long, he didn't even need to sell at the market anymore, he was making money in his sleep. People in the village marveled at his success. How could a boy who was abandoned at birth, with no parents, no inheritance, rise to become the wealthiest man in Egbima? They said he had a special blessing from the gods, that his hard work had attracted wealth to him like bees to honey. Emeka built the biggest house in the village, a beautiful 2-story building with a shiny zinc roof that gleamed in the sun. He drove the only car in the village, a flashy red Peugeot that left dust clouds behind as he sped through the narrow roads of Egbima. People started calling him Emeka Millionaire. But just when we thought the story was over, when we thought we had seen it all, something unbelievable happened. It was a calm Sunday afternoon when two strangers walked into the village. A man and a woman, both looking tired, and one came to the village square and asked for Emeka. They claimed to be his parents. You can imagine the shock. The news spread like wildfire. People rushed from their homes to see the couple, their faces a mix of disbelief and curiosity. I was among the crowd, standing there with my mouth wide open. These two people, who had abandoned Emeka as a baby, were now standing in front of everyone, saying they wanted to reunite with their son. The elders summoned Emeka, and when he arrived, the entire village was watching. The couple, with tears in their eyes, told a long, pitiful story. They said they had been poor, too poor to care for a child, and that was why they abandoned him. They begged for forgiveness, claiming they had regretted their decision every single day since then. Emeka listened quietly, his face unreadable. The crowd murmured in anticipation. Would he accept them? Would he forgive them? Then, in a voice calm and steady, Emeka spoke. I have no parents, he said, looking directly at the couple. The only mother I know is Mama Ejioma, the woman who raised me when no one else wanted me. If you had been truly sorry, you would have come looking for me long before now. You want me because I am rich, not because you love me. The couple fell to their knees, weeping, but Emeka simply walked away, leaving them in the dust. The crowd was silent. For a moment, we all stood there, stunned by his words. Then someone started clapping. Slowly, others joined in. Before long, the entire village was applauding Emeka, not just for his wealth, but for his strength, his wisdom, and his loyalty to the woman who had raised him. After that day, Emeka's parents were never seen again in Egbima. No one knew where they went, and no one cared. Emeka continued to live his life, humble and generous. He donated money to the village, built a school, and helped anyone who needed it. But he never forgot where he came from, and he never let greed or pride control him. The story of Emeka, the plantain seller who became a millionaire, became a legend in Egbima. People would tell it over fires at night, shaking their heads and laughing at the absurdity of life. And me? I still sell plantains at the market, just like Emeka used to. Every time I carry my basket on my head, I think of him, then I smile. Life has a funny way of working itself out, doesn't it?